Hello, and thank you for taking time to watch this video and hear a little bit about what I'm sharing. Hopefully I can be quick and my dog doesn't bark or my cat doesn't jump up in this chair next to me. But today I wanted to share with you a fascinating opportunity and some research based on some work that I'm doing in Nepal. And it really is about building sustainable, self-driven futures for some of the young people, specifically those who are aging out of the children's home that we support there. And in some ways, it's really simple, but in other ways, it's a little bit of a sophisticated model. Not really one I created, as much as leveraging from other people who've used this model to help support ministry as well as economic opportunity. And it really is not about sympathy for people who are up against the challenges that they face in Nepal, because I think sometimes sympathy can be an overused driver on this. What we're doing is using technology as the critical lever for personal and even cultural transformation. So my mission here in this video is to really unpack this vision for you. And I want to go beyond the surface level of that charity and look into the cultural and logistical challenges that these young people face when they leave and age out of what we would call the foster care system. And then I'll get into some of the strategic steps of this model. But it includes what I think is a genuinely creative way to handle resourcing for this outreach for the gospel in Nepal. So the motive for me started a few years ago, 2018, when I began to focus on supporting some work in Nepal, a children's home run by Babaram and Kalpana, two people who've become very good friends of mine. And in addressing this reality, I want to give these young people some tangible skills and something more fundamental in their world that's incredibly rare, and that's confidence. And I'll unpack that for you. What actually happens to young people when they age out of the system like this is they are in this loving and stable environment. They get a good education, and the whole structure just vanishes. And they know they can't stay. They have to leave, and they have to face the world all alone. Yeah, they get some help, but it can be really, really challenging. And so the question is, how do these young people go from this stable environment to what I call a very highly non-transitory society? We here in the West, we're used to moving, changing locations, but in Nepal, those relational ties, they are real currency to them. And so the core problem for these young adults is that this overwhelming discouragement that happens is compounded by the culture itself, because the pre-existing reality is on the ground there. And because that relational piece and that fear of judgment, it seems essential to understanding the whole crisis. Stability is what is the challenge for many of them when they age out of the system. And so they're faced with this devastating choice with two options. One option is to go back to the villages that they came from, where they are, in many cases, already outcasts and don't have relationship pieces in place because their family safety net is essentially gone. Or they can move to a bigger city or even go overseas and work in what is sometimes very arduous labor environments in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And so suddenly you lose your community, you lose your support and your credibility. And what we're trying to do is create an opportunity for them to stay. And that's why we see the seeds of entrepreneurship as a key mechanism for this. But entrepreneurialism in Nepal is difficult because many people lack the confidence that's necessary. And one small failure, and oftentimes they'll be done. And so, it can lead to even more shame and some of the challenges that they face. So what we're doing is we're actually doing some job training, but it's not really about the job training. It's about confidence building, but the job training is the vehicle. And so this project is aimed to deliver not only immediate but measurable success so that they can build their confidence, get some knowledge, stack some wins, and then get some momentum. And confidence building is meant to be really tangible. And so it's in doing so, what we're going to do is establish computer labs where these young people are going to learn computers, but also teach others how to use those computers. And the plan is to do this not only in Bob Rom's area, but 2 other areas in the country using this same model. And what's fascinating is I believe it's really scalable and it's very sustainable. And it's built on a classic kind of train the trainer model. So let me walk you through the mechanics. It really starts with the kids that are aging out, and they're the first group, and they're going to be taught advanced computer skills. And so it's a big investment in them and a very significant one. And then the next step is they immediately turn around and teach younger kids that are still in those homes or in the surrounding areas. And then ultimately what I'd love is if they go to other communities and teach computer skills. Now, in doing this, it's not meant to just simply give technical skills. We're going to equip these young people to make disciples, to look for opportunities to share the gospel, to look for opportunities to partner with local churches so that these can be conducted in local churches and as an outreach to those areas so that the gospel is able to spread in a very relational way. So we are meeting practical and urgent needs, but we're also trying to focus on discipleship and sharing the gospel. So I just want to pivot real quick to what I would say is your involvement. Keep in mind, this is not meant for anybody to get paid. These students will not get paid. We might end up paying 1 or 2 people to coordinate some things in some of these areas, but really it's to give them some skills and then build up other students that can get these skills and then pass them on. So here's where the strategic aspect happens with your involvement, is that we're going to need some laptops to do this. We're looking at needing about 20 laptops. So what I'm asking is that you consider, if you have a used laptop, to donate that to us, and we'll try and clean that up and take it over on my trip in April, end of April, beginning of May, and set up 3 different computer labs. And so if you have a used laptop and you want to donate it, that would be great. The second way to help is maybe you don't have a laptop, but you can go find us some, or you can put this video up, or you can share with your friends the opportunity that exists and see if you can help us collect 3 to 5 laptops. Like I said, we need about 20 of them. And then third way you can help is to make a donation, because we can buy Chromebooks, inexpensive laptops, and take those if that's necessary. It makes it a little bit easier because they're new and we don't have to clean them up. But we also have a system. It's called Rachel Plus. I'm not sure if you've ever offered it. And what it does is it offers a satellite link up so that we can access the internet no matter where we are in Nepal. It's kind of like a Starlink type system. And what's really cool about this system is it has all the curriculum and all the resources that the students who are teaching will need to facilitate this training. And so it's a great tool. And so if you want to simply make a donation and do that, that would be great. And then of course, if you want to join us on this journey, I took 6 people with me last time in October of last year. And if you want to go, we're looking for a very small team of people, and we're going to help set up these computer labs. So we're just going to need some donations. And then, yeah, if you want to join us, we're going the end of April. It's an 11-day trip. It'll take a couple days to get there and get home kind of deal, a few travel days. And then we'll be in country for 11 days going around and setting up these computer labs, as well as doing some discipleship training with local believers there. So if you have questions, please feel free, give me a call. Prayerfully consider being involved. My phone number is 425-359-4856, or you can reach out to me through Facebook or email, or however you ended up with this information. But I would love more involvement from people who have the resources to help or the desire to help. So thank you for prayerfully considering this opportunity. God bless. Bye.